After the early part of the evening, I wish I had something to sell you, frankly, but...
2,000!
There you go. 3,000! So, the American poet and author Maya Angelou, late in her life, she wrote 16 books, scores of movies, and innumerable articles. Said in an interview with Oprah, who's the arbiter of all truth, that she used to think of herself as a writer who teaches. But now, at the end of her life, she thinks of herself as a teacher who writes. And for me, Kevin and all of the people who have crossed through my classrooms and my life are the true blessings to me and the work that I do. If you are a teacher, you know the potential of the impact you can have. You know the power of being relentlessly kind. And some days the challenge that that can be when students are stressing, which happens pretty much every day. The other thing that happens for me is that I have the title of executive director. And so people are intimidated by my title before they know me as a man. And it takes a while to break down that barrier. I want to share with you one thing that I share with my students every semester to help with that barrier a little bit. My undergraduate GPA was 197. Extra semester, because at Penn State you can't graduate unless you have a 2.0. And it took me a long, long time to believe that I was actually smart. Today I run 2 graduate programs at Penn State. And the journey, but that journey is illustrative and an incredibly powerful motivator to my students, all of whom had better GPAs than I did when I started. And what struck me tonight is, and what I want to call forward for each of you, is that bravery is as contagious as fear. And I want to thank you for the courage to come to this room, to face the stories that brought you into this space, and to continue to move forward and to loan your courage to others in moments of need. Sometimes it is depleting. And I was struck by Kevin calling out Liz and Dennis as the son and brother to folks with mental illness, and as a husband and father to folks with mental illness. The moment in the film, to me always, is Liz and Dennis sitting on a bench by a body of water, talking about how Dennis will take his life, and Liz and Dennis joking about not making a mess. And for me, as a parent, it always catches me to think about Liz enabling herself to get to a moment as a parent to love your child fiercely enough to let them face their own pain and consider ending their life and loving them through that. I think what I wanted to really talk to tonight was all of the people in each of our lives who have loved us fiercely, who have stood by us when we have been lucky enough to be loved, when we've been lucky enough for medication to work, when we've been lucky enough to find the light in a moment when we didn't think there was any. For those of you who are not from Pennsylvania, Penn State is the only university in Pennsylvania, by the way.
Not Penn State!
But in the last 10 days, I've posted articles to my students that noted that suicide is the second leading cause of death among people aged 10 to 19. and that the millennial generation is the first generation that will die earlier than their parents, largely due to mental health issues. So the work that Elizabeth is doing at Facebook is so incredibly important, because for both of those populations, social media is the double-edged sword that enables them to connect beyond loneliness, but also isolates. And so I would ask you to lean into that population when and where you can, and check and not presume that 10 is an age that anxiety does not touch. For those of you who have 4th and 5th graders who are moving into adolescence, I taught 4th grade Sunday school for a time, and some of the girls in my class looked like they were high school students, and some of the boys looked like they were 1st graders. Nobody would go back to middle school. If you threw it all in a pile and said you can choose middle school again, no one would give it. We couldn't auction it off tonight. But I would say to you something that is a gift of aging and the reflection that comes with age. The role of the teacher really is to kindle the spark that lives in every student, and to nurture and hold the secret dreams, and to lead the applause when success comes. It is my great honor and privilege to be able to do that for Kevin, for Karen, and all of you in this room tonight. I thank you very much.